welcome to episode number 26 of the Nosedive Podcast. My name is Vinie Vizzle, and next to me we have Mark. Mark, how have you been?
I have been much better than you, I think, looking at some of your videos recently. But I'm good. It's New Year. We've had a bit of a delay in getting a new episode recorded, so I have to apologize for that because life gets in the way, man. And but we're here. We're back, ready to rock and roll, and we've got a good guest this evening, this afternoon, this morning, whenever you listen to us. And he's actually just joined the waiting room, but we'll do our preamble first. But yeah, how are you? How's your head?
Yeah, my head is pretty good, man. Since I've hit that tree, something happened in my neck, and I'm getting better. Which is, I don't know what happened, but apparently I needed to get hit in the head.
Medical advice brought to you from Vinie Vizzle. Ride into a tree and save yourself hundreds on a chiropractor.
Yeah, but do wear your brain bucket, because if I wouldn't have been wearing that, it would have been something else, as you probably saw in my latest video, because we had one of our riders in a fun afternoon hitting a pole without wearing a helmet, and he was knocked out cold for a few minutes. So people, put on that brain bucket for real.
We've mentioned it before, but it's worthwhile saying again, particularly as you rode into a weirdly angled tree.
Yeah, and I was because it's fall in Belgium, so there's a lot of leaves on the trail. So you really have to watch out for potholes under the leaves. I was watching that. I was riding behind two guys and trying to film them. I was also watching the camera, and then you kind of don't really mind what's on top of your head or above your head. And then I was also on a one wheel that was a little bit higher because we've been riding that trail all day. And on my growler, I never hit it. And I was on the higher one wheel, and maybe that made a difference. I don't know, but yeah, in the end, it benefited my condition. So
a couple of inches always makes a difference. That's what she said.
And that's what she said.
I had to. Yeah. We've been binge watching The Office over Christmas, so I had to throw that one in there as well, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You've been out riding a lot, and to be fair, I've been riding a lot as well. We're in it's not been that dry, but kind of a dry period in winter before the rain starts to seep in with springtime. But after a couple of days, everything dries out. It gets a little bit frosty. It gets a little bit dry. So I've been riding more in the last month than I probably did leading up to all of October and November. But it's been a lovely time to ride. But that is what we are here to talk about today. We are here to talk about riding for the rest of the year. And I am very excited to chat to our guest, because I personally think our guest must be the person that has been to the most individual events in the world.
I think so.
I think there are probably people that have been to the same events over there, Oak City and all the rest of it. You can clock up a lot of different events, but our guest has been to more than anybody else, I think, as in terms of individual events. So should we bring him in? Should we drag him in kicking and screaming?
Yeah, let's talk to him.
Let's see if this all works. There we go.
Hello.
Vid, man, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
How are you today?
I'm all right. It's just Monday, getting started with this week with all of the busy schedule, making videos, making one wheels, making everything I want, and of course, working.
The burden of a creative
mind. You're known for. You are known for making what you want. And the man that made it just went, I want a one wheel, so I'll make a one wheel. But our listeners and viewers would have heard and seen you before from our Christmas episode that we did in 2024. But just do a little introduction of yourself, Vid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm Vid. I made the VXWheel project. I started it back in 2022 just by, figuring out on the internet what a one wheel was. And I had no idea how to ride one. And just out of boredom, because it was COVID, I challenged myself to build one. And I made one very similar to this one on this side. This is the second one, but it's pretty much the same as the first one. And I started riding it. Learning how to ride it at the same time as I was figuring out how it should even work. That was the fun part. And then I just fell in love with it and continued with the third and fourth generation, making each and every one a little bit better and starting joining events on the way. The first event was back in 2022, yes. And I've jumped plane it since.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the fact that this is probably the most prepared episode I've ever done for this, by the fact that I pre-asked a question before we've even done, and I've never done that for anyone before. But
just one.
What? Just one. Just you're special. But what is your background then? Because not I certainly couldn't, and I don't know about Vinie, would be able to go, I'm bored. I've seen a one wheel. I'm going to think about how to make one. So I couldn't do that. Not many people. So what is your background then to be able to just go, can I make that?
Well, I'm building airplane models since I was a kid. You can see some in my background. This is my workshop. There's one wheel airplanes, everything. So I have a lot of technical knowledge. I also studied mechatronics, and I work as a mechatronics engineer. So I did have a background of engineering, but I didn't really have a background of one wheels, and there's a bunch of specific stuff that you need to know how to build a one wheel. But thankfully, the community helped, and the software is not done by me. It's VESC, it's open source. I would never be able to do that part. But the hardware, that was kind of the easy part for me. I had an electric BMX bike that I still had today, and I still ride it. But my wish was to get this bike with me on holidays, and it was impossible. So then I was like, maybe I can get a one wheel with me on holidays without even realizing how difficult it is to ride one, or I never tried one, And then I was like, it's not possible either. So I don't really need to learn how to ride a one wheel because I cannot take it on holidays. And then I figured out, but if I make my own, then I can make it legal to fly. And this is how everything started.
Oh, sorry, I'm sitting here laughing because the ingenuity of just going, it's got to be a way. If I can't do it, I won't have it. But hang on a minute, I must be able to figure out a way. That is excellent. It is absolutely excellent. Yeah. Do you know how many since that first one? How many you've built? Have you got like a number in your head?
I have to think a little bit, but at least some 7 or 8 or 9. There's quite a few. I built 4 for myself, a few for others, and I helped build a few more. So we are approaching 10, I guess.
Nice. And was it the travel aspect that made you like go for a flight pack as we know it, like separate batteries, because that's necessary in current airline rules to get flying?
Yeah, I think I would never be into one wheeling without this aspect, because I wanted to have a personal electric vehicle that I can take on a plane in the first place without even wanting a one wheel in the first place. So then I got an electric vehicle that I can fly with, and then it was a challenge to learn how to ride it. That was actually secondary for me,
I love that. I love the fact that the need was wanting to have something electric. Didn't matter what it was, to have something electric to then take with you. And one wheel fits nicely in a suitcase. Yeah. Well, to a degree. So with that thought in mind, what kind of difficulties have you encountered in traveling with your builds? What's been the most awkward place to go to?
Actually, not much. Ever since I'm traveling with it, I didn't have any major issues with it. Everything went smoothly, no complications. And I had one motor failure in Denmark, but this is not involved with the design or anything. It's always passed all the security, and they never said I can't take it. There was never an issue. I know there are some people who got some issues, but for me, it was always okay. And I'm not saying I never will have an issue, but since now, everything was fine. Anywhere I wanted to go, I could take it till now.
Flight pack really resolved your need to get around, because you do a lot of miles on the one wheel. I always see you go to events, and if you have the chance, you even take the one wheel from the airport to the event, which is pretty phenomenal. You've done and seen a lot of cool places like this.
That is the fun part of it,
Yeah.
Ride it's always as much as you can.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Vid makes a lot of cool videos on his adventures, and you can always see like the cool places that you visit. I'm always in an awe where the one wheel brings you, mate. It's really awesome.
I just love to ride, When I get to a new place, I want to ride if it's possible. let's do it by a one wheel.
Yeah, and
Love
it's
it,
a perfect.
a lot
Go
of
ahead,
us,
Mark.
suppose you go into a forest or a woodland or something, you kind of go, well, can I go down that trail there? I wonder where that trail goes, or I wonder if it loops back round to this part. You get to an airport and go, right, I'm here. How the do I get to my hotel there? And then just start riding. And it's just like no roads near airports are designed to be ridden on for
That is a big
bicycles, let
challenge.
alone one wheels.
Yes, that is a big challenge.
Yeah.
And there are some airports that are very easy to get on with a bike or a one wheel, and there are some that are nearly impossible.
Yeah, because you in some cases you don't even have a bike lane or a foot lane to walk on. So then it gets challenging because some other countries have different habits on the car.
Yes, that's true.
It's a pleasure to watch and just hear the little bits of the story of your journeys. Like your Stokebird one you dropped on the weekend. So, well, it's 10 miles to get to the airboats. Might be able to make it. I might be able to make it back. Just like, fucking hell. Most people are going, well, I've got enough mileage to go sort of 5 miles before I might have to charge up again. And you're just like, yeah, I might be able to make it.
It's all doable, you know. You just have to think a little bit and try it out, and somehow it works out.
Yeah, sometimes. How many miles or kilometers do you do on a single charge on your boards on the VXWheel?
Depends a little bit. So if it's street or trails, but I can do up to 30 kilometers, even past 30 kilometers on street.
Okay.
But if it's trails and a lot of baggage, then it's like 20, 25.
Yeah,
It
the weight
really
does-
depends on the conditions.
Of course.
So our chat today, and the reason why we've invited you along is because you are the master of these things, is the events. The events that are coming up, specifically the European ones, but we'll dabble into the American ones as well. But my question to you was, I put this to Vid yesterday, I think, or the day before. Did you sit down and count exactly how many events you've been to?
Yes, I have it written down because it was not that easy. Yeah, it depends a little bit what counts and what doesn't count. But
Okay.
I've counted 27 public events that
Oof.
were like publicly announced and accessible to anyone.
Yeah.
And then I did 2 of my events that I don't really count. They're more private. And I did one similar event with the Czech team where we just went for a few days for a long group ride. But this is not a public event. So I counted 27 public events.
That 30 is, I would say that's 30. When you've been to your own events aren't exactly, oh, let's go and ride. You know, it's not like it's a small little, we're just going out for a ride around the park, guys. It's a long, so I would say, even though not public event, it's still an event. So 30 is an incredible number. Have you flown more miles than you've ridden? That's the big question, but I didn't ask you. You might need to get a bigger calculator out for that.
I think I did. But I was counting just approximately, I think I'm about 15,000 kilometers on a one wheel, but it's hard to say because my first version didn't have an odometer and it's hard to track everything, but something like this.
Well, I suppose once you've been to sort of 27, 30 events, you kind of begin to work out how many miles you do per event, depending on.
Yes, that
you go to
this I
Miami,
do.
you know roughly how many you're going to do over a weekend because, you go to them all the time. So you can kind of work out roughly. That's an incredible.
Yeah, like just in a week in Miami at Stokebird last year, I did 580 kilometers in a week.
Oof. That's a weekend.
I think I'd do that in a year. 2 years, probably.
At some events, I just do a screenshot of my VESC app when I get to an event and I check when I leave. And a few of them were just crazy, like way over 100 kilometers per day.
That's eat, charge, repeat. Eat, charge,
Yes.
right, repeat. Ooh, man.
A nice little T-shirt to have with just a VXWheel logo underneath that. Because man, that's incredible. That is an incredible amount. We're going to look at the events for Europe for this year, and I've included some that aren't strictly race events as well. The first one that I am pleased to see, and I know people will be going to that, is the fact that the Algarve team are putting together a almost slightly very biased element of them, that they are starting the season, I suppose, with their race camp, I suppose, the race school. and they'll be finishing it with that. I think that's a wicked idea. I think that's a
Super
absolutely
interesting.
genius idea.
Yeah.
I've got what they're doing in there. So I've got it all down on here because I can't get it up on my bloody laptop for some reason. But
You have the
so they're
wacky
looking at
wheels.
progression. They're looking at the different elements of racing strategy, mastering all the different features, which a lot of people have a lot of anxiety over features. We were out on a ride literally yesterday, and I watched people that wouldn't normally do a feature do drops on a mountain bike track, simply because there's not a crowd of people watching. There's no pressure of racing. It's just that nice element of practicing, and everyone shouting, bend your knees, bend even more, just those little elements that you need to do. So I love that. The VESC tuning, which is a wonderful idea. How to fall with professional parkour instructions. Who in the Algarve is doing that? That's what I want to know. Has Dan taken up parkour and hasn't told us or something?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what they have to offer, because we had Dan and Jess on the show, and they explained a few of the techniques that they are using to train people, which seem very interesting. So it's really nice to see that they will bring that to a broader audience. And it's the perfect way to start the season if you want to get those legs running and those wheels spinning. That will be the game.
Yep, and it's the 2nd to the 5th of April, and tickets are €175 for those 3 days. But there are only 4 spaces available, according to the website, as of about 3 hours ago. And I definitely was working and not going through every EOL website. And so that's going to be exciting to see who goes to that, and if there is progression from that. If the people that come to that and then go to the first event of the season and go, and should be interesting to see. But the first proper event is Wacky Wheels. So the first proper EOL event, Wacky Wheels, 17th to 19th of April. Ved, you been there?
I've been there, yes. Been
So
there 2 times.
Tell us about Wacky Wheels.
I've been there 2 times, raced 1 time.
Okay.
So yeah, I raced last year, and as I heard, they're going to have the same track as last year.
Okay.
So it's in like a park not far away from town. It has a bit of a forest single track and some features and some different parts. It's a pretty nice course. I liked it. It's not very like crazy or difficult. I would say it's a normal, challenging and nice track to do. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to improve it or change it or anything, but it was nice to ride last year.
So I was looking on the website. Last year, did they have the tire throwing? I'm confused by this element.
Yes, they did.
So what is that about?
When you pass a certain point of the track, you pick up a tire and you can toss it in like a circle and you get extra points. Or if you miss the circle, you don't get them. And in the finals, they changed the rules. So you couldn't, there is no circles. You could just pick up a tire and leave it anywhere on the track as an obstacle for other riders. So right at the end of the track, not far from the finish line, there was a very narrow piece of gravel going uphill, and it was not wide. So a tire there was blocking you quite significantly. And Alexis was so much in front that, of course, he picked up a tire and he let it stay there for the others. Others didn't even have time to pick up a tire in the finals,
Really?
That's crazy.
Wacky races.
It's just another element. They also had some streamers attached to riders that you could pull from their helmets and get extra points and things like that.
Okay. Some really cool additional features in the race, which make it very interesting. And that's the cool thing, because every European event has its own identity, and they all bring these cool elements. Like in Switzerland, we had the tournament version last year, which seemed very cool. So yeah, it's cool to see that people are trying to experiment with these kind of elements in the race.
And added to that, they've got there's a forest trail rides that they go on. Is that right, Vid?
Yes, it's pretty much a forest trail ride with a few different sections, a small section on the pavement near the lake and a few different, but mostly it's like a single track in the woods.
I like on the Wacky Wheels. If those you haven't looked at, have a look at the electirc.com website.
And
because they started making the top trumps cards, Gergo and the team and starting using that, and they're linking that to the race. Because I had a look on the website today. So it's all the riders that have registered on there in that list to take part in the event and the race are all listed in there. And there was a name that I wasn't expecting, because last time we heard and spoke from him, although he didn't retire for his own event last year, seems to have registered for the race this year as well, Hannes. Mr. VESC man. So maybe someone, it might feel like he's missing out because he's not got the Swiss race this year. So could be interesting. I saw some videos of him. The man's lost a little bit more weight as well. He's getting lean for the season. We will wait and see. So excellent. So that's the
Anyway,
Wacky Wheels.
Wacky Wheels also have a very nice underground track that is pretty long, and it starts right at the racetrack and it goes around a hill. It's long in the woods and it's very nice. So that's a bonus.
Nice. Yeah, the Underground League is still something that is pretty much alive. So all European events try to do a few segments on the way that you can ride on the Hermes app. And it's a really nice or a cool way to also get your ticket into the EUL finals if you win that Underground League. So if you haven't heard about that, really check it out on the Hermes app, the EUL Underground race.
That sounds like a radio advert now. So Vinie, what's the next event? Because I'm not allowed to talk about it.
No, the next event would be Shred the Shires.
Yes.
There's some notes there, Vinie. What do your notes say about that event?
Oh, let's see what our guest has to say about Shred the Shire first, Vid.
Well, last year it was pretty funny because it was in the same week as Wacky Wheels, just 2 days after. And at first I was just, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this way? You know, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, then, but okay, if they're doing it, I'm doing it, you know, it's doable. I'm going to Wacky Wheels and flying to Shred the Shires. And it was funny. Me and Fabio did it and it was cool, totally doable. And I enjoyed Shred the Shires a lot. It's a nice camping area to hang out with all of the people, all the riders, nice group rides in the countryside. And the race is also specific, as every event is specific. You know, it's on a grass field with a lot of obstacles. It's not in the woods. It's not on gravel. It's mostly grass. But the obstacles are nice and we had a great time. So
yeah, perfect time to do some legal group rides in the English countryside, because normally it's not allowed to ride in England, I assume, Mark, if that's correct.
It's not. You can only ride on private land, and not all the social rides are on private land, but a couple of them are, because they're my uncle's fields. So strictly speaking, it's private land. Strictly speaking, it's private land. But some of the others aren't, but you get away with it a lot of the time. You get away with it. I was chatting to somebody the other day. He said he's done about 2,000 miles in his local city. And that's over the last sort of 3 years, and he's not been stopped once. Yeah. So there's that element of that. But that's kind of the same plan for this year as well. Some added extras are going to be put in that we're going to be trickling out and telling people about over the next couple of months beforehand. But we're quite good. I just realized we I wanted to sort of get through the prices of things as well, because the Wacky Wheels race, unless I've got it wrong, it's €26 a ticket because it's subsidized by the city or something. I think I remember.
I think so. Last year it was even free.
Yeah. So I think that's just kind of to cover the main costs of like website stuff and things like that. So incredibly cheap for an event. Shred the Shires is slightly more expensive than that, but shit costs money, boys and gals. I can't print it yet. Looking at £95 for a full ticket, or €109. But the Groms are free, and we have currently 18 Groms registered for Shred the Shires, taking full advantage of that free ticket. And so are their parents, because the Groms are coming for free, the parents are coming for free, and they're just paying for camping for the weekend. So they are taking full advantage of a very cheap weekend. Letting their kids ride around on long wheels. But so the one after that is which is a weird one this year to see it in the space that we normally have the Swiss event, which is the Float Connection.
Yes, the French event.
Been there?
Been there last year, yes. I have been to all EOL events, but sorry, because I couldn't make it when it was last year, and it's not happening this year. So I guess I'm going to need to wait for that. But I've been to all the others.
So what was Float Connection like?
It was a dusty racetrack, extremely dusty, a little bit displays, not smooth and with jumps, so you couldn't really get decent speed. You really needed to get you really needed to be careful because it was loose gravel and sand and things like this. But otherwise, it was a nice track. Just again different as the others. You needed to take advantage of your skills of riding the sand from Portugal, maybe, and the jump was quite big, so needed skills for that. But otherwise, we had a good time, and they had a very packed area, very small area to hang out, which was nice to see all the people. Also for Shred the Shires, it has this festival vibe. Everybody camping together. That really makes a difference. In France, not many people camped there, but it still had this community vibe in a small area.
Yeah. And they had a few cool aspects that they brought to the table. One of them was the XR Classic race that they had. So they put everybody on an equal board with equal settings. How did you experience that, Vid?
It was very fun. I raced it and it was fun. They had some issues with the brackets and stuff and with the qualifiers, but the rest was very good. And the XR race was pretty intense because you could see very good riders still being better than the others, but not by far, because you just couldn't push the board further, Everybody had a limit, and that was fun to see.
Yeah. And they also do a freestyle competition, if I'm correct, in France.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Got
that's
down the
also
list is the tricks for cash, air race, social rides. We've got a varying bands of tickets, which it took me a little while to figure out what was what. If I'm brutally honest, the French team are listening. It took me a while to figure out the pricing structure. But you've got the visitors ticket, which is basically you get to watch, come and watch all the events, use the dirt track, and bits like that. The rider's ticket for €75, which is watching, and obviously you get to join in with the games, the chair race and the group rides. Then the competitor's ticket for €90, which is all of that, plus the races, the 4x4, the EOL races, track competitions, social rides. All within, as Vid says, all they've got a barbecue and food trucks and some water stations and stuff like that as well. Groms there are €40 for a ticket to do all of those bits as well. So really nice event in a very, very nice place down in the south of France there in Gignac, which is a beautiful place to visit at the end of May, 22nd to the 24th of May.
Yes. It is a bank holiday weekend, which unfortunately makes it a bit more expensive to travel, but it's definitely worth having a go.
Yeah, that's the same problem we have. It's a bank holiday weekend. It's the only way to stretch out the days. You might as well go for a couple of days and make a weekend of it. Or even if you're going down to the south of France, make a week of it. It's a beautiful place to go and visit.
Yeah, I joined it with, I joined my France 3+ year with exploring Barcelona, and it was perfect.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, and they also have that red desert place near Gignac. I don't know how it's called. I lost the name, darn. But they have a really cool place where they did some rides back in the day. And it's like one red desert with all like ups and downs and structures. It looks really cool. And it's I think it's near the place where they have the race.
We've been there on a group ride. It's Lac de Salagou or something like this.
Lac de Salagou. That's it. Thanks, Fit. Indeed. Looks very, very cool to go riding. It's like you're riding on Mars or something.
Yes.
Really nice.
Yeah. I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
I've probably done it wrong, but I tried.
Did it better than me. I gave up French when I was 11. There you go. So moving into June, we have the Maru Shred Fest in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
It's the 19th to the 21st of June. Tell us, Vid.
That is the gnarliest track in Europe so far. It's all a single track. It's pretty much the whole track is in the forest. It's very difficult to pass because of the single track. Maybe you can do it on the jumps or if somebody falls, but otherwise it's pretty difficult. And it has this extremely steep downhills and uphills. And you're gonna scrape your tail and it's gonna be difficult to go also up. So you really gotta focus and watch your riding. Look at some videos I made and you will see what's the actual track, But it's very fun and very good.
Yeah, it looks like a really cool track over there, but you really need to go for the whole shot if you want to get a good position in the race. And I've seen Dan doing some overtakes there, but Dan is a wild boy, so you sometimes have to throw yourself in there and go for the openings that are there.
Yes, there's always a way, but it's not easy.
It's not easy, definitely not. I think you need that big tire to exit the trail and to overtake in some areas.
Yes, and there's like pretty much no section that is straight, except just a little bit at the end. But there's turns all the time, and it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Also, if somebody is behind you, it's getting you nervous, and then you make mistakes because it's not possible to go very fast for everybody.
Yeah. Not that easy to tune your board to the terrain because it has a lot of different areas. So probably not that easy to find a good tune to roll it out. And especially if you're on FM boards, different story.
Yes, I did. I don't like changing my tune before the race, but I did change it for that race because
I can imagine
it's so specific.
Yeah. You have some secret sauce for such terrain? I'm not a VESC boy, but
I'm not the best at tuning. A little bit of torque tilt is, I think, all I used.
Vinie, if people want to learn that, we've got to rewind the tape and they need to go to the Algarve Championship race, whatever the hell they've called it now. Race camp. The Algarve, the Onewheel Algarve race camp, just check the name of it there. So they can learn about tuning, not from Vid and certainly not from me.
But if they go to the Algarve camp, they're going to have their boats perfectly tuned for the final race in Portugal, but far from perfectly tuned for the Miro racetrack.
But they can learn about how to change it and what to change.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll spend, and I'd love to get some tips.
Yes, definitely.
But at the Maru, you've got so it's 1,800 meter long mountain bike course. Registration fees include access to the course, race number, a chip, some water, and I love the fact it's in there. It must be the English translation. It says, "and event organizer services on the day." Now, I can vouch that you will not get the event organizer services when you come to the Shires because I'm next to useless. But maybe someone at Maru is good at servicing you and your boards. But looking at the prices there, you've got €65 if you get in there before the 28th of February, which is an excellent date. So that's the same date for the Shires goodie bags as well. If you get in there before the end of April, it goes up to after that it goes up to €80, and then after the end of April, it goes up to €90. So I would say lock in those tickets now. You know what you're going to do for the rest of the year, ladies and gents. Start planning out those events, seeing what you can get to. I already know a few of the British riders that are going out to Maru because they are desperate to go out there, and they're going to have a holiday, obviously, because it's a lovely part of the world as well. To go on holiday. Yeah, as Vid says, it's a gnarly one. It's amazing how so far all of the events kind of prep you. It's the way it's happened really, but all the events in one way or another have a little bit that prep you for going to the Algarve Championships.
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
You've got the rocky sand, the single track, you've got the grass, you've got the features. They all just, if you get to them all, it's just practice all the way.
Yeah, it's a good prep. Definitely.
So thankfully, and this is lovely this year that we're not doing literally sort of 2 weeks in or a week in between events for some cases. It's nicely spaced out. You guys think this is organized? It really isn't. We then moved to Float the Highlands. Back.
Yes. Back from...
built, new mountain bike tracks and all the rest of it. Never been and always want to go. Vid, I assume you went to the first one?
Yes, both times.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. An expert.
The first year was mostly just the gravel downhill road, which is pretty much a service road with obstacles and jumps and features. The second year, they added a big piece of the single track, which was challenging and nice and added a whole new level to it. And now I'm not sure if they're adding more of the single track or not, but there might be. So it's going to be even more of the single track and less of the gravel road, but a combination is very good.
Yeah, because the first year, it looked like everything was going really fast. The guys were blowing downhill, and there were even some speeds that I saw there that would, I didn't expect that a Onewheel could handle that, but they did.
They made the obstacles harder so that you needed to slow down the second year. So it was definitely going slower, but there were still crazy fast parts, and it's all downhill. it's down the mountain. So you cannot really go slow, you're going down all the way, and it's fun.
I think I saw a couple of videos. Andy had said that obviously last year, the reason why they didn't do it was they were waiting for there's some mountain bike trail parts to the mountainside. And there were some bits that they showed, not last year before last, of that area. And I think that's what he was hoping to incorporate into the race for this year. Haven't seen any more updates on that yet. But I imagine they've only just released tickets all of 3-4 days ago. I imagine we're going to get some updates on that as time goes by. And I think that's going to be a nice draw for people to add in that. As you said, the mixture of the trails and the access road should be quite nice. And if they're adding in new mountain bike trails into that as well, that could be a very, very gnarly little track. But that's not the only thing they did in Float the Highlands. Obviously, they're doing a little tour before that. So do have a look at that. Prices are, and full credit, the Float the Highlands team, whoever does the website, you've just got all the prices, everything listed beautifully, so I can copy and paste and put onto my document. So it's really easy to find the prices, unlike some of the others. But you've got the tour. The tour is 3 days before the event. And you've got all access pass of £110. So that's 3 days tour, the whole event. So the whole 6 days in total, which is freaking fantastic, really. Yeah. Chairlift access, which I think is probably half that price, to be fair. Chairlifts are not cheap.
Nope.
But there are very limited numbers in terms of the tour. So get onto that if you're really interested in doing that. It's a nice little week up in the Highlands there. £95 for Enduro Racing Pass. That's the 3-day event. All the racing. Doesn't include the tour. General admission, so only event entry only at £65. No chairlift access. You need that to get to the top of the mountain, I assume.
You can ride up.
Or you can ride up. Is there charging at the top of the mountain, though? That's the question.
No, there is not. But
charging
they
all the way
actually
down,
have.
I suppose.
But there is a pretty fun thing they do, and that is a must start racing from the parking lot up to the top of the mountain. And that is very fun.
Yeah, that seems wicked.
Again, more preparation for the Algarve. It all ties in together one way or another if you look at it. And then they've got the tour pass, which is 30 days, which is for the tour. It's beautiful time of the year, July, up in the Highlands. Have a look at their website. The pricing is pretty damn good, to be fair, for all access to all those different events. So yeah, Float the Highlands. I think it's always the one that everybody wants to get to.
The scenery seems so beautiful. Riding through the Highlands there, if you see the videos, even the promo videos when they send out a few riders just riding through those Scottish Highlands, it's just phenomenal to see. Sometimes the weather gets in the way a little bit, but that's something that Scotland brings to the table. And they actually raced in the rain one year. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe even both.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
Okay. I guess if you're up in the mountain, you're more inclined to get sort of damper weather at the start than you are.
Yeah, the weather is changing very fast. You can have sun, and in the 15 minutes you have rain, and then sun again. It's changing all the time. It's challenging. It's on the mountain, but it makes it fun,
Yeah. So badgering that board is the message.
That for sure. And you can have group rides till the midnight because the sun is up till midnight.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's quite true.
Interesting. I didn't know that. So you have daytime or daylight until 12 at night?
Yeah, approximately. Yes.
Yep. Cool. I've been to Scotland, Glasgow, which is a lot further south than Glencoe is. So a couple of hours more drive south. And I think about 10:30, we went outside of the pub. We're like, it's just dusk, just getting to dusk. And that was kind of early June. So first weekend in July, you're looking up in the Highlands there. 11 o'clock, 11:30, still relatively sort of that dusk just before sunset kind of.
Yes.
Big window to ride.
Exactly. So moving on. Now, this isn't an official event, but strictly speaking, it is a free event. What event am I talking about there, Vid, do you think, that might be happening from the 10th to the 12th of July?
Maybe an event where you're going to ride too much.
So I've put down two comments on your Istra Float weekend, which is free and 100 kilometers a day, and that is all I've written on this tablet.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah,
come here and we're going to ride too much. That's the whole point. I'm not happy if we don't make 100 kilometers on Friday and on Saturday. On Sunday, maybe we're going to be a little bit more chill.
So it's going to be ride, charge, eat, repeat.
Yes, it's going to be
I don't think there'll be any eating.
all Friday, ride, charge, eat, ride, charge, eat, and all Saturday. And on Sunday, I don't have a specific plan yet. We might do a little bit less riding because maybe somebody will have enough already.
The legs will feel it for sure.
But how it's turned out last year, it was awesome. And it really exceeded all my expectations. As how I wanted it to be. It was how I wanted it to be and even better.
Yeah. So can you explain the concept a little bit?
Yeah.
The concept is long group rides, meaning we start in the morning and we ride till evening. For example, on Saturday, we just start in the morning and we return in the evening in the same town. And we do like 5-6 charging stops. It's a very long loop. And on the way, we have long rides, and on the way we hit right Hermes segments. So we have small racing sections that are part of the group ride. So you can either ride it slowly if you don't want, and you can race that small sections, and then we move on. On some sections, this is a part of the track, so you only have one chance, and then we move on. On some others, we might let you do it 2 or 3 times, but there is no time for many tries. On Friday, if we keep it the same way as last year, which I probably will, we will start in a nice forest area that is full of trails. We're going to ride trails in the morning, even go to a local hill to have a local lunch. And then we will move on the coast and do the coastal sunset ride, which is both are approximately 50 kilometers, so 100 in total. And it is going to continue like this also on Sunday. I'm just not sure where we're going to go yet. So long group rides and ride Hermes segments on the way, trying local food, seeing nice sceneries, and just enjoying the day.
Sounds like a blast.
Sounds so nice.
Yeah.
And obviously you're kind of leading the rides. You're taking a look beforehand as to where to go to, where to get food, where to I was going to say fill up, recharge boards. I'm sort of used to riding motorcycles across Europe and planning where we would have to stop, where you have to recharge boards and stuff like that. But those that are coming to you obviously should hit you up, talk to you about the event, because there are some stringent needs. You need to have a bigger battery. You need to have, you can't get pints and stuff like that. And obviously people got to sort themselves out in terms of accommodation and things. But would you be able to give them some advice as to where to stay maybe?
Yes, of course. If you need any advice, where to stay, how to get here, just reach out. There are some limitations of your boards. You need to have a fast charger because the charging stops on this event are going to be extremely short, as short as we can possibly make them. When everybody's ready to go, we go. And this is why we have fast chargers only. And we always start in the same time. And we always start in the same town and finish in the same town. So we don't need any transport of your bags or anything. You carry your chargers, your swim gear. We're going to have charging stops on the beach and things like that. You carry a small backpack and that's all you need. And we ride all day. And I will take care of charging stops as much as I can and about places where we're going to stop. And there's going to be sections from one charging stop to the other where we are basically not going to stop. Maybe just for a few minutes, but that's the whole point. We ride and charge. We don't stop for a long time.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. You said we charge at the beach. That was all I needed to hear, man. You should just that's the tagline. It's your favorite weekend. We charge.
At least 3 times.
Oh, come on. You couldn't do that in the UK. Someone would nick everyone's boards.
Yeah, different countries, different rules.
No.
That sounds really nice. And when was it again? In July?
10th to the 12th.
Summer vacation. So
July.
Sounds like a blast for the summer.
Nice. So moving on to the next event. Well, in between that event and the next event, at some point, ladies and gents, I'm going to be asking for some tips. And Vinie, you're going to be very important in this, in that there's a few of us that are going to somewhere in France for a little one-wheel holiday in July. And I've decided that I'm going to drag my kids along with me, which I'm already regretting. But there we go. And but I'm going to do a couple of days to get to where we're going in France. and then a couple of days coming back. So I'm going to be hitting people up for good spots to ride. My plan is I've never taken the kids out of the country. So my plan is to hit as many countries as possible so they can finish school going, I've never been out of England, to come back and go, I've been to France, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany.
Yeah.
If it rains, we'll go over the border into Switzerland and then back again.
There's a couple of people riding with kids as well on the way, so I'll hook you up. No worries.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. But moving on to the Danish one-wheel games. Now, I regret every year that I don't manage to get myself to the Danish one-wheel game. So Vid, please make me and everyone else jealous.
It's a totally different event, not looking as any other. I couldn't really say it's a race course. It's an obstacle course. Yeah. You don't need speed at all. You need balance and your tactic how to get across obstacles. So you have various obstacles. Each obstacle has points. And of course, who does the whole loop faster also has a priority, but the bonus of the obstacles is so much greater than the time itself that it's worth trying the obstacles a few times. Only if you're like 100% sure you will not make it, maybe skip it. But as for the rest, try it out. If you can make it, it's going to be worth the points. And it's a very fun thing, a very fun event to do. It's completely different to anything other events offer. And it's a big community thing, camping on the site. It's all on the property of Lars.
Yeah.
And everybody's camping there because the race course, not being fast, it's on a very small area, actually. You don't need a lot of space if you're not going fast because it's not long. But the obstacles are very good and it's a very good practice for the final race again. And Lars has group rides planned and bonfire and chair race and everything you want. It's a big time fun event and I'm going again this year.
Yeah, excellent. Really looks like a blast. I think they call it Hygge, the friendship thing in Denmark, which really represents the whole event. Everybody's joining there. Obstacles also are really cool because they use a lot of the natural materials, I understood. For their obstacle
pretty much most of it is wood.
Yeah, just fallen trees and things they made
trees.
from... Excuse me?
Careful, Vinie. Trees. I know there are some low trees along. I've seen the videos in Lars's track. There's a few low trees. Some that don't go straight up. Some that go like that slightly.
As far as I know, they're trying to build at least one obstacle being new each year. Maybe trying to do it harder, so not everybody passes all the obstacle. But from I've heard, last year they didn't succeed, and there were plenty of people who passed all of the obstacles. So I think they're gonna try harder this year to surprise riders with something new.
And there's already a few challenging ones in there. I've seen some videos where you have like trees who get narrower and loose at the end, and then very chunky trees with tree stumps. Like you have to do a little bunk while balancing and stuff. It's crazy, man.
Oh yeah, don't think they're easy. Just because I said many riders did all of them, it doesn't mean they're easy. Just means we have a lot of good riders right now. I cannot do all of them. No way.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you see the parkour that people did them all, it's phenomenal, man.
And that's why at the Algarve camp, Dan is teaching everyone parkour skills.
Yeah.
That's obviously why. It's an obvious reason why. That's the 21st to the, sorry, Dan, you stole my meme ideas. It's the 21st to the 23rd of August. And Lars is doing sort of get your tickets early. So before 15th of July, you're looking at €35 for, Groms. I copied this off. I didn't actually read this. Racer tickets 35, Groms are 22. They then go up a little bit more. There's different prices for meals and things like that because Lars will sort all the food out while you're there. So there's varying different variations of tickets to look at. But after that, the ticket prices do jump up to €52, which is still fantastic for such a wicked little event. And 33 for a Grom. And the meals and stuff like that. So if you're thinking of going to that one in August, book the tickets before the 15th of July. It seems like it's a long way off, but it really isn't when you start to sort of book in things and stuff like that.
Indeed.
I might want to go every year, but just...
You can't do them all. I have to make choices.
Do them all and then I don't do any.
You have to make choices, man.
Yeah, you got to make choices. I guess.
I have to make choices this year as well.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to Vid's list. And then, of course, we have the final
Grand finale.
1st to the 4th of October. I didn't actually check to see if all the tour tickets beforehand have sold out. I should have checked that.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they obviously did the tour before, but that's now all sold out. When I remember when they launched the tickets and they were saying there were very, very less spaces than last year for this year. And I know I looked and there was only like 8 left. And that was out of sort of 15 or so. So, yeah, I think they sold out pretty damn quick. I know Eduardo's going on that one again from our team. Eduardo's gone nearly every year. I think he absolutely loves the tour. But, yeah, so then we have the final. So we have the combination of all the different events. What we need is a balance beam at the final somewhere. And it will bring in Lars's or a fire pit, whatever floats, maybe fire over the big jump.
Fire pit.
There you go.
Right there.
That then finally combines all the events, including the Danish ones.
Yeah, or maybe throw a log over there or something.
Absolutely, man. And have you been on to all the finals, Vid? Is that all the ones on your list?
I've been 4 times in Portugal already. Okay. So yeah, since they started making a race, and even 1 year before when there was only a tour.
Yeah, it's always amazing riding in that scenery.
It's just so nice.
It is. It's extremely nice.
It really is. The videos never do it justice. Sometimes they do, but it's just a lovely place to go, to ride along the beach, to ride along the mountainside, to ride along the beach and look at people riding along the cliff top. It's nice. It's a good place to go. And it is a fantastic event, and it gets better and better, bigger and bigger each year. With the full price tickets being €80, the EOL race only ticket 60, chill ticket 40, Grom's ticket €20. Again, those allow you to do certain different aspects of the event. So please go onto the website, book your tickets, check the right tickets are the right ones for you. And obviously they did the wild card,
yeah,
that one again last year, and they're looking to do that this year. So you never know. I won't get in, but you never know.
Yeah. So there's always riders who cannot make it to the finals, and these tend to get filled in with wildcards. So that's why they have a race for the people who have been racing throughout the season, but for one or another reason didn't get a chance to get into the final. So really interesting for those people who really want to go at it.
Definitely. Vid, I won't ask you what has been your favorite European event, because that sounds almost too hard to pick, because they all have different aspects to it. But you've been to a lot of the events in the States as well. Now, if anybody from the ORL is listening, and I doubt that they are, sort your freaking website out and sort out your leagues as well, because I haven't got a clue what's going on. There's Eastern and Western leagues, and you know what? I just wanted a list of dates and places. And I just got confused and gave up.
There is a
I
list
saw Nico
of all...
posted a good one.
Yeah, there's a list of all American events on the Float Life website, and I've seen another one somewhere else. So there are ways to find out the information, but I agree they do need to sort out some things.
It's not that clear currently.
So I think I know what I would vote, having not been, but watched lots of videos of the American events. But Vid, what is your favorite one?
So I've been to Oak City, Float Life Fest, and Stokebird, and all the 3 events are amazing and totally worth going to. But because I'm not primarily a race person, I'm going to say Stokebird, because it's based on group rides and on the community, and just having fun, enjoying nice weather when there's winter at your home. You're enjoying sunny weather in Florida with like 300 to 500 people just going through town, to trails, having fun. And it's really the community event that you should visit. Because it's really about the people.
I checked the video that you made of the last year's event that you posted recently, and it really looks like such a vibe. So many people together, the beautiful weather, just summer vibes in winter. It really looks amazing.
Yes, definitely. I'm trying to get a group of people from Europe to go to Stokebird, but I never succeeded to make a larger group. Maybe we should work on that for next year.
Yeah, I think there's definitely people who want to go. So
it's on my list. It'd be the one that I was. We were looking at a holiday. We're not going this year. We were looking at holidays, and we've got a couple of friends that go on cruises quite a lot. And there is a cruise that they are going on that leaves Miami a week after Stokebird, and I was this close this year to going, well, we could go on the cruise. but if we go a week earlier, they get really, but then that then starts costing an awful lot of money. We've gone, nah, we won't do either. But I was so close this year. I was like, perfect excuse. But it certainly looks like the most fun, the most things that either happen that are planned or that are spontaneous and just come out of nowhere. It just looks like fun continuously.
I mean, if you're a pro racer, some other events might be better for you. But if you're there for the community, you cannot miss with this one.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Well, we are over an hour now, and it doesn't feel like we've been talking about this for an hour. And I hope it doesn't feel like that for everybody else that's been watching and listening either. And quite frankly, I don't care if it does, because I have fun, and that's the only reason why we do this podcast is because I enjoy doing it. But it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Vid. Do you know which events you're definitely going to this year?
Not exactly. I decided I'm taking a little bit of a break from racing this year. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna race. It just means I'm gonna do just a few events and focus on other stuff. And I've been also the past 3 years, I've been jumping on and off events like every second weekend. Wow. And it has been a lot of traveling and a lot of stuff going on. And this year I'm trying to maybe do less traveling, but longer vacations. Maybe join some things together and not just jump on a plane every second weekend. It's just too much.
So you don't, other than obviously riding to the events, you don't see much of the place you go to. You go to the event. There is an element of almost event fatigue to a point if you go to too many things too often. I suppose at the start of the creation of the one-wheel events within Europe, there's that anxiety of, will it happen next year? Will it happen next year? But everyone's got into a nice motion now that you're pretty much guaranteed year on year there's going to be at least 4 or 5 events that are going to be taking place. That's not to discourage people, because please, if you've never been to an event, bloody go to an event. It doesn't matter just where it is in Europe. Just go. Everyone will chat to you. Everyone will give you all the advice that you need. There's so much information out there for different events now. You know, when we were looking at events 2-3 years ago, you try and do a YouTube search. There's nothing. There's no videos or anything. Now everyone's videoing events, so you get to see what they're like. God, go to France, go to the Highlands, go to all of the events if you can. Go to Shred the Shires if you really want to.
And we're also trying to work something out in Spain, the electirc thing that we did last year.
Yeah, that looked nice. That looked just chill.
That was really cool, and we found a really cool place. It was like an e-dirt bike track that really was cool to just do a lot of stuff because it has a lot of facilities. And we're looking into if we can stay there the whole weekend instead of just renting a house and then going there once. But currently, the whole thing has been flooded by a storm, so they won't be open until April, and they won't be making any promises until they know that they have the racetrack and everything back. But it's looking good. They have, or they would have the facility to lodge 50 people in a house. And there's camping facilities. We have a racetrack. There's opportunities to downhill and to do some freestyle stuff. So it looks promising, but it will be probably after the season. So after Portugal, if you want to come and hang out in Spain, try to keep a few days available for that as well.
Sure. Let us know as soon as possible when this is going to happen. I'm already interested.
I'm looking at the calendar, going through the calendar, going, when would that fit in quite nicely? I've closed my notes now. I've opened my calendar.
Even if I said I'm doing less racing, my calendar is already getting full. So I need to know early. Yeah. And there's another event you didn't mention. There's the race in Plzeň in Czech Republic. It's not EOL, but the track, I tried it out last year. I was just briefly there for a day. Mm-hmm. It's a very nice sandy track.
Very flowy.
Yes, pretty flowy. So I'm going to try to do that because I didn't race there yet. I definitely want to go to Danish because I have a big competition with model airplanes in Finland and in Sweden. And I'm going to try to join this as a 3-week thing and just ride in Scandinavia and finish in Danish before going home. So that's a big plan. I will try to do some other events, maybe the ones that are closer this year, maybe Czech Republic, Hungary, or I don't know. I might show up at other events too. I just didn't make plans yet.
Yeah, let's freewheel it this year.
Yes. A little bit less racing, but definitely not less riding.
Yeah, That's the spirit. All right. Then I think we can start to close down this episode. I think we had a very good overview for everyone who is interested in European events. There's a lot of stuff going on in the States, but as you mentioned, Mark, we're not really clear on what the ticket is there. So hopefully we can get some more information from across the pond to see if there's anything interesting going on there, which I'm sure it will. Thank you so much, Vid, for joining us in this episode and for giving us your honest opinion and your experience about these events. It's always nice to talk to people who actually were there and can share some insights on what is going on.
Of course, thanks to you. Thanks for inviting me. And to all the riders, join as many events as you can. This is how you will improve your skills. This is how you will get to know the community. This is really the best you can do. I'm just a weird guy that sometimes wants to ride alone and very far away, but events are totally worth it.
Definitely. All right. Mark, any last questions or any last thoughts?
No, I hope to see you in the Algarve in October. That is my intention. I'm manifesting it this year. I know I said I'd go last year, but I didn't. I will this year.
It's always nice to finish the season, or in Spain, maybe. That could also be a season.
I'm talking about the racing. The Spain thingy sounds good. I drive past a dirt bike track like twice a week, but it's a proper British one. It's just sticky mud everywhere. And I sort of look at that and think, that would be cool. That would be cool. So it sounds like it should be fun.
For real.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming along, Vid. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along. And we will certainly see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, what a dude, VX Builder, event fanatic, can we say that? Maybe remote airplane builder. What else do we have? He's a video creator. He's doing his own events, which is phenomenal, doing so much for the community. It's amazing to see what some people are capable of in the little time they have.
Absolutely. I know Vid is very slowly getting through. I should have asked him. And what you guys don't know, we've been chatting for the last sort of 20 minutes since we ended the interview. We should have asked him how many more events he's got left to edit the videos of. That's a question I should have asked, because he's putting up Stokebird this weekend that is happening in a couple of weeks' time from last year. Because I know he said he's got an edit he wants to put together for Shred the Shires in his blog. I love it's just a nice, easy half an hour or so vlog, I suppose, of Vid going to events. It's nothing punchy. There's no fast transitional edits with all the things happening. It's just, this is my journey. And every second of watching it is like, okay, this is excellent. This is the shit behind the scenes that you want to see. Yeah. And I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to him drip feeding us his videos over the next few months. Hopefully he gets them done before the first race of the season starts.
Yeah. Well, he's running a bit behind, but it's always cool. Like just in front of an event, he's then in the position to post a little memory of what went down last year, which is always cool to see these recap videos. And it's so cool and amazing that a lot of people are actually documenting all of this stuff for the future, because we're going to have such a laugh when we're old and not that nimble anymore about all these.
Some of us are slightly less nimble than they were last week. Some of us are more nimble.
Sometimes you just have to hit a tree. For real.
Again, not here for professional medical advice.
Not professional medical advice, indeed. All right, then I think we've kept you busy long enough. We are still going on a run to get new guests to you, and we're not going to stop in the near future. Nope. So, Mark, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time of 2026, keep that nose up.